Hello everyone, I hope you are having a slayful day. My name is Flick and you're listening to Hard Hats and Heels, recorded at Flexi Desks, Sunshine Coast. Hello, how is everybody? I'm so happy to be back in your guys' ears. So we're just going to jump straight into our Friday knockoff because it is a big one. It is a lot to explain. So there's this stuff called Echo Curb, and it's basically there so that more water can go into the drain. Basically, some areas that get lots of water flowing across the road when there's a high grade. I don't really know how to explain this. If you're not like in civil construction, you probably won't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's basically this curb. It has it's like if you're watching this on camera, it's like kind of like a whoop. I can't even explain it, like a U shape, and then it has like grates that go on top so more water can go into it. Anyways, it's made to go on a straight, not a curve, and currently we're trying to put it on a curve. So it is the hardest thing in the world. I actually said last night that I kind of love it to my boss, that I do kind of love it. Like it's really like makes me use my brain, makes me actually think about something. It's a lot better than like what I'd usually do. I really love it. But the brain kerfuffleness that it makes my head feel, God, I literally am like, I just don't know how to deal with this sometimes. But we did 4 last night, and 4 I reckon is my max. After 4 I start to crack it. So we're going to have I reckon in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a few nights of doing it straight, and way more than 4 I reckon. We have 18 left, something like that. And yeah, so I reckon this is going to be my Friday knockoffs in a couple of weeks, but it's going to be that I hate it now. But for the time being, I love it. But let's just jump into the episode. So this week's episode is breaking out of a party lifestyle and focusing on your future. This is something that I feel like I've more dabbled in recently. So obviously I'm only 20 and I don't think I live that much of an exciting lifestyle. I don't really drink. I don't do drugs. I don't really go out that much. I really only go out for birthdays now. But last year, about this time last year, I was a party animal. I was going out every weekend. I was going out Monday. I was going out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if I had a public holiday. I was drinking. I was being a complete and utter menace. And it was about, I think, I want to say November, I realised that it's just not something I really wanted to do anymore. And then since then, I've kind of focused into the fact that I want to set myself up for my future. I'm only 20, but I don't want to be, trying to hustle at fucking 50. I want to be trying to hustle now so that I can enjoy my life later. And I'm not even saying that I don't enjoy my life while I'm hustling. I love the podcast. I love working hard. I love doing big hours. I love all of that. I love hustling. And it's so I know so many people that are like, oh, but I just don't want to work. I could never relate to that in my life. And that's why right now I want to make sure that I'm setting up my future. I want to be successful. And especially being a woman in the industry, I'm not going to be able to be doing this physical job, being on the tools when I have a kid. So I've got to set up things so that when I do have kids, I'm going to be able to, reach my goals still. So yeah, let's just jump in. So my first segment is going to be, why is partying so normalized in the construction industry? So one of the first things that pops into my mind, Friday knockoffs. I know that's our funny trait, but Friday knockoffs aren't usually, a freaking cake and a coffee. They're beers in the arvo. And a lot of the time social activities like group bonding between co-workers, they're all revolving around alcohol. No one ever suggest anything to do that's not involving alcohol. And I also found this amongst my friendship groups last year, is that I was never going and doing anything that wasn't involving alcohol. We were just going out drinking, and then you're building relationships based on alcohol, which I'll jump into a little bit deeper later. But yeah, so Friday knockoffs, they're turning into weekend benders. So Friday, one beer at a Friday, after work, is never, ever just going to be one beer. To me, I used to have a beer after work, and then I would carry that on, and I was out till freaking 3 a.m. on a Friday. And then I'd wake up feeling terrible on the Saturday. So it just really turns into the full weekend bender in my eyes. And I really think that's something that needs to be changed. I don't think alcohol needs to be the key like connector. And I think a lot of it has to do with, there's a lot of anxiety around in our generation at the moment. Like it's not, no one's as happy as they used to be. No one's as, So there's a lot of anxiety. Anyway, so what about the work hard, play hard mentality? I feel like this is something that so many people have, and I'm not sitting here and trying to tell you that I don't have this mentality. So yeah, I feel like the work hard, play mentality is something that's so strong in my like world. Like, yeah, we work so hard, but yeah, we deserve to have a beer every single arvo. Excuse me, no, that's not the way it should be. And people should be, trying to encourage healthy habits and, going to the gym and eating healthy and doing things that are good for your body, because your body is the only thing you're going to have for your whole life. It's the only thing you should be investing in, because when I say invest in yourself, I don't just mean mentally. I mean physically and too. Your body will, if you don't take care of it, it's not going to take care of you. And if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So yeah, when we say work hard, play hard, why is that so normalized? Why, when I tell people that I don't drink alcohol, is everyone like, boo, you're so boring? Why aren't we encouraging healthy, really healthy habits? It just doesn't make sense in my head. And yeah, we just touched on this before, but drinking is a bonding experience with workmates. What the hell? Why? And right now I'm struggling to think of things that boys would want to do, but I feel like any activity that men do want to do in general, I'm not trying to categorize here, but men as a whole, you can't really give them an activity where they don't want to drink. They're like, yeah, let's go to the pub, let's go to the pokies, let's go to the strippers. These are all these things, and then they just involve drinking. Why can't we, go out on the boat? Why can't we go to a truck show? Why can't we, go play pool? Why can't we go go-karting? All these things that don't have to involve alcohol. So, yeah, I just don't understand. So what I was talking about before, that is, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, right? We all know this. It's the truth. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So if you're drinking constantly, if you're having a beer every single afternoon, I can guarantee you are not going to feel good without that beer. So it's just going to become a habit. So for me, I go to the gym. We've touched on this so many times. I love, love, love the gym. But I remember when I was drinking alcohol every weekend, I felt so sluggish the next day. I did not want to do anything. I wanted to lay in bed and I wanted to waste my weekends. And honestly, no wonder I felt unmotivated. It wasn't gonna it wasn't gonna make me feel any better. I was having alcohol, and then I was expecting that I was going to want to get up early and to go do my gym sesh and being unproductive. And then come Monday, I feel like I've wasted my whole weekend. No wonder. And I hear that time and time again from boys. They're like, all I feel like I do is work. I don't do anything. I'm not productive. Well, yeah, because on your weekends, you're spending half of the day in bed hungover. What's the go? It's your own actions. And I understand, I'm not telling you, no, drink alcohol, alcohol's the devil, rah, rah, rah. Not saying that. But what I am saying is taking care of yourself. You don't have to freaking bender every single weekend. You can bender every once in a while. I'm all for a bender. I'm going to bender again this year. And I'm here for it, but you don't have to do it every single weekend. And it's such a hard trap to get out of, because it's really hard to build relationships with people if alcohol isn't involved. I know that. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But missing workouts, struggling with inconsistency, the impacts alcohol have on your performance and your mental clarity. I cannot preach this enough. I could have a really big night on Friday night and I would still be feeling it on a Monday morning. And I remember people would be like, well, you're still young, you should be able to back it up. No, I don't want to back it up. I want to have a peaceful 8 hours of sleep in my bed. I want to be feeling like I'm actually getting rest. We work, 50 hours. That's probably my average of hours on a week, 50 hours, right? I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I need to be making sure I'm prioritizing my sleep on the weekend and, not running myself into the ground, because this is how people get burnt out and they don't realize that alcohol has such a big effect on this. But also the mental clarity that comes with it, that I know for me, when I drink the next day, I get the worst anxiety. like the worst. It's always been like this. And then recently, every time I drink now, like more than like one drink, I get like the worst anxiety while drinking. Because it's just not for me. And I hear this so many times. People are like, oh, well, I just drink because everyone else drinks. And like it would be not normal if you don't want to. They either don't like the taste of it, it gives them anxiety, or like numerous other reasons. But what do you mean you're still like succumbing to peer pressure? Because that's what it is. It's peer pressure. And people don't realize that. They're like, oh, I don't peer pressure people. But like when you say to someone, oh, like, why aren't you drinking? And they say, well, I just don't want to drink. And you're like, you're boring. That's peer pressure. That's being nasty for no unnecessary reason. And so many people don't understand that. And this is something that really, really anyone who knows me knows how much this is like such a heavy topic in my life, because I've had so many people in my life that have been like, oh, well, you're boring now because you don't want to drink alcohol. And I've lost so many good friends because of it. And I've touched on this in other episodes, but yeah, I just really wanted to like break it down. So then let's look at the financial side of it. The fact, the amount of money. It's like $10 for a drink if you go out. $10, $10, $15 max, right? You say you take 10 drinks to get drunk. That's $100. 20 drinks to get drunk. It's $200. Gone. Do you know, you could have, like, gone. Like, oh my God. You could have saved that $200 and put it in your house deposit. You could have saved that $200 and put it in a business. And it's so funny, like, I'm not trying to be that person, but when people are like, oh, starting a business is so expensive. Well, yeah, but like, it's what do you prioritize more? You know, $200 at the pub every weekend, like $400, right? Weekend in total. You know, I'd even push it to $800 over Friday and Saturday night, or, you know, invest $800 into starting a business. I'm sure you'd succeed. I've started the podcast and it didn't even take me that much. Like, yeah, like if these are just so many things, and it's about what is your priority. Because I know my priority isn't getting drunk every weekend. My priority is grinding and, you know, kicking all my goals. And I'm not trying to have like hustle culture. Like if you want to slow down, but that doesn't mean you have to drink every weekend. So, yeah, our next segment is going to be realizing you want more. So for me, I reckon my moment would have been the last time I remember having like a really, really big night So the last time I had a big night was in November, and I knew that was my last time, but the first time I ever felt it, I reckon, was my birthday last year. I'm born in September, and September last year, I remember how I felt. I felt sick, I had anxiety, I had other health stuff going on, so I'm not going to just brush that off, but it was terrible, and I tell you, I felt terrible. I felt so sick. I remember wanting to go home at like 10 o'clock at night on my own birthday, which is wild to me. And then I didn't drink for like ages after that. And then November, I had a really, really big night. And when I say big night, I was like vomiting by like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I felt so sick. And I remember we went to like some pubs in Sunshine Coast, and then we went to Ocean Street. If you're aware, you're aware. And then I was there till 9:30, I think, 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And then I called my best friend, and he was like, okay, I'll come get you. And he came and picked me up. And yeah, so like, it's just so wild to me that it takes people so long to realize they want more. Like, I know people that are still the same, like older than me, like 25, and they don't understand they want more yet. And I want to know why. Like, something I would love to hear from you guys is, why do we still drink alcohol every weekend? What's the reason? Is it just because it's a good time? Is it because you think you need alcohol to have a good time? Is it because you have anxiety? Is it because you are trying to forget your problems? And there's so many reasons, and I'm not dissing all of them, but you should be getting to the root of the problem other than just drinking your sorrows away. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to be blunt, but like, people are like, yeah, but I just don't feel good mentally. Okay, technical difficulty, the camera died, but we're just going to jump straight back into it. So what I was saying is that people don't want to get to the root cause of the problem. They just want to drink away their sorrows. They don't want to actually do the work. And if you actually did the work, maybe you could not be feeling like this. Maybe you wouldn't feel the need to drink alcohol every weekend and drink away your sorrows. Because I can guarantee you, I don't know a single person that drinks alcohol every weekend that's actually happy with their life. They're drinking because they aren't happy with their life. And I hear this time and time again, but then no one's wanting to step up to the plate and take ownership for their actions and fix the problems. And I guess that's all just a personal preference. But I know for me that I'm not going to sit here and, complain about my sorrows while I'm drinking every weekend and not doing anything to benefit myself. And, it's a hard truth, and everyone could say that I'm she's just a negative Nancy for saying any of this, but it's actually the truth, and the truth hurts. So what about how do you shift FOMO? Let's chat about FOMO. How do you shift your focus from not feeling like you're missing out? So for me, I really struggle to speak about this topic because I don't actually feel like I'm missing out on anything. It's really something you've got to develop this mental edge. I remember I'd sit at home with my best friend and I'd say to him because all of my girlfriends, they were all out drinking and all that. I'd sit at home with my best friend and I'd be like, well, I just don't understand why, why can't I go out? Why can't I go have a good time? I want to go, I want to do this, I want to do that. And he'd always remind me, Flick, that's not what you want to do with your life. That's not actually your goals. And it's about aligning your goals. If you're saying, oh, I want to own a house, I want to have my own business, I want to prioritize my health, I want to do high rocks, I want to do a marathon, all these things, right? But then you're still going out drinking and you're not, working towards building your own business, you're not saving money for a house, you're not training for high rocks or a marathon, you're not eating well, then really those things aren't your priorities because you're not prioritizing them. Your priorities are what you prioritize, because I'll say it time and time again, your actions are creating the life that you are living. You can have all the dreams in the world, but if your actions aren't going to align with your goals, then you're never going to achieve them. And this episode might be a bit harsh and people are probably going to really struggle to hear a lot of these things, but I can guarantee you that this is the truth. This is how the world works. And once you wake up and realize that, you are going to have such an easier time with the FOMO. What are you missing out on? You're missing out on feeling hungover the next day. I love not going out on a Saturday night. I wake up on a Sunday and I'm like, oh, I have a sleep in on a Sunday still, but I wake up feeling great. And on a Friday night, I can guarantee you I'm in my pajamas by 8 o'clock and I'm getting up early for a sunrise run. And it's just about these little things. If you build smaller habits that you're going to look forward to every single day, it makes it stuff like going out drinking easier to miss out on. Because you're like, oh, well, actually, I'm going to wake up feeling great tomorrow and I'm going to go on a run. All these things, you've just got to know what your priorities are. And yeah, just if you feel like your priorities aren't aligning with your goals, then maybe it's time to, reevaluate. And then, here's the catch. Now, I'm not saying you have to miss out on the events. That's not what I'm saying. I still go to all the events. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying you don't have to get blind and drunk. I feel like there's this really stigma that if I'm drinking, I may as well get drunk. And I used to really have that mindset, but now I can enjoy just a glass of wine with dinner. And it's so easier. It's so much easier said than done. I understand that. But it's about setting those limits. If you say, okay, I'm going to come, but I'm going to go home at 10. Go home at 10. If you say, I'm coming, but I'm only going to have 2 drinks, only have 2 drinks. Don't succumb to the peer pressure of others. And, actually be firm in your boundaries. Because if you can't be firm in your boundaries of something as little as a freaking drink, how are you supposed to be firm in your boundaries and everything else in life? And it may seem harsh, Flick, it's not that big of a deal, but this is where the little stuff starts here. So if you start being strong with your boundaries here, the other stuff, the bigger stuff, is going to be easier. It's about that 1% better mindset every single day. You start with the small, the big things get easier. It's you just build. That song that was on TV when we were younger, when I was younger, the From Little Things, Big Things Grow, that one, it's so truthful, and that's what plays in my head anytime I'm doing something little that's going to impact my life. And that's just how you've got to think about it. From little things, big things grow. Now, let's chat on something, my favorite thing ever, confidence. I felt so much more confident in myself when I'm not drinking alcohol. One, you know what you're doing. You are fully aware of what you're saying, doing. No one can be like, oh, do you see her last weekend? She was so drunk and I don't even remember what I said. it's if you want confidence, stop drinking alcohol. That was my number one tip for learning confidence when going out, because you just fake it till you make it. And confidence, everyone knows alcohol is liquid courage. So if you don't have it, you will find that elsewhere. I can guarantee you. It's really just about turning it like on. You've just got to be, you've just got to keep on like chipping away at it. So so bring your confidence to a max and, just own it. Yeah, no, I don't really feel like drinking. Oh, don't you get anxiety? No, actually, I feel fine without alcohol. I actually don't need alcohol to have a good time. And that's what you've just got to say over and over and over in your brain. And I know this episode could sound so repetitive, but it really is repetitive, because this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. This isn't something you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, well, I actually don't want to go out and bender every weekend. It's something that goes time and time and time again. And you've got to realize people will be like, oh, well, I don't want to stop drinking. Okay, you don't want to stop drinking, but you don't want to build like a proper future for yourself, because it is so much harder. It is so much harder. And anyone who has spent their life succeeding, I can guarantee you that they do not go out partying every weekend, that it's just not something they do. And all those people that you idolize, they don't get drunk every single weekend. They're taking care of their bodies. You're not going to get that body of that girl on TikTok that you saw without taking care of your health. And girls that take care of their health, I can guarantee you they don't go out partying every weekend. But it's about balance. Like, you can go out partying every once in a while. It's all about balance. And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying don't, but, stand strong to your boundaries. It's very much like your choice. The last and final thing I wanted to chat on is stronger relationships. I cannot tell you how much stronger relationships. I have struggled for the longest time to find a good group of friends that I feel like, of like girlfriends. I have heaps of friends that are guys. I work with men every day of my life. But there's something, if any of the girls out there would understand, there's something about being a woman and having other women around you, and like having a girls group and having a bunch of gal pals that lift everyone up. There is something about that, and I know that every girl feels this. So for ages I was looking for that, and I just didn't understand. Why can't I find it? Like, I have friends and all we do is go out drinking. None of them want to do the things I want to do. You've got to realign yourself, because if you don't realign yourself, you're never going to find those friends that are aligned with the values you want to be living if you're still living with your old values. I realigned myself, and I literally met like a couple of weeks ago the most beautiful group of girls. They are so lovely, and we went on a picnic for one of my friends. So it was one of my friends from gym. I met her at gym, and if I hadn't gone to gym, I wouldn't have met her. One of my friends from gym, she had a birthday, and then she invited all her friends, and now we are all such like a cool bunch, and like so like that, so close, so quick. And I went to the gym with a couple of them. We all went and played tennis. This weekend we're going to Noosa, and then we're going to play tennis again. And it's like exactly what I was looking for in a friendship. But I had to realign my goals to get there. I had to realign the lifestyle I was living to, reach the people that I wanted to reach, because if they're living a lifestyle like this is the lifestyle they want to live, and they want to surround themselves with people that are living the same lifestyle. It's really hard to have somebody who's going out partying every weekend, doesn't have the morals and doesn't have their goals aligned, to then, how it's so hard, because you're getting home at 4 a.m. from partying, and I'm getting up at 4 a.m. to go for a sunrise. It doesn't make anyone better than anyone. That's not what I'm saying, because I feel like that's what it comes across that I'm saying sometimes. It's just different values. And I love to hear when people go out partying every weekend and they say that they have the values. They want the house, and they want the fitness goals, and they want their business. Those aren't your values. And this is what I say time and time and time again. You've got to realign your values to find what is meant for you. And everything happens at the right time, but you've got to put yourself in rooms for everything to happen at the right times. You've got to put yourself in front of doors for them to open, for everything to happen at the right time. If you just close yourself off, don't hit the root cause of the problem, don't figure out what's wrong, and just keep on suppressing it with alcohol, you're not going to be able to put yourself in front of doors for them to open at the right time. Those doors are just going to shut time and time and time again, because doors will not open until you are mentally ready for it. And, if you don't prioritize yourself, you may never be ready. Which, what's scarier? Oh, we're not going out drinking every weekend. I have such FOMO, or never achieving your goals. It's your choice. That's all I'm saying. So let's have a final recap. The party lifestyle is fun, but when it stops adding value to your life, it's time to step back. So when you go to the same clubs, the same bars, the same everything, every single weekend, I reckon that's when it's time to step back. You're not experiencing anything new. If you go to a new town, new city, sure, go out, have a good time, have a blast. That's something new, that's something exciting, that's something fresh. But it's not every weekend that you need to be doing that. It's not in your hometown every weekend that you need to be doing that. You don't have to completely cut it out. Just be mindful of the choices that you're making. The choices impact your life time and time and time again. So you've just got to be mindful of all the little things that add up. Shifting your focus towards fitness, career, independence will bring you long-term rewards. Drinking every weekend, doing drugs, partying, these things are not going to bring you long-term rewards. And this is what this whole episode was about. These are my quick fire on things to take from this episode. And I really hope they just burn into your brain, because I know sometimes I listen to episodes like this and there's little things that play in my head time and time again. And it really does make it easier. So this month, I want you to try and set boundaries. This is my challenge for you, my hot take, limiting alcohol and late nights. See how you feel? Because I can guarantee you're going to feel better. No way. Alcohol's poison. There's no way you're not going to feel better. Try once a week, one weekend this month, don't go out. Don't stay up late, have an early night, get up early morning, see how you feel. Let me know. And I'd love to hear your experiences of breaking out of this toxic cycle. I'm putting toxic there because I don't want people to be like, oh, she just hates alcohol. But going out and drinking every weekend is toxic. There's no doubt about it in my mind. So you've just got to, just keep on progressing. But let me know about your experience of breaking out of this cycle. I'd love to hear it. But thank you guys so much for listening. Do not forget to follow the podcast. I've noticed we have a lot of listeners, but not a lot of followers at the moment. So don't forget to follow, leave a review. I am always open in my DMs if you want to have a bit of a chat on this of a deeper topic. And then if you are on the Sunshine Coast and you want to do some wholesome activities, I have a Hot Girl Walks and Talks club on a Saturday, every fortnight on a Saturday. So I have a walk tomorrow. There is an Instagram for it, and if you want to be added to the group chat, just send me a DM. But I hope you guys have a slayful rest of your week, and I will chat to you next week. Bye.